Yeah, pause YouTube, 6ftHax here. Have for you guys today. One hell of a PU battle, man. This game was actually pretty crazy. So if you guys do enjoy the battle, make sure to hammer that like button down below. And if you guys can't tell from the teams, my opponent is using a rain team, which is absolutely terrifying because I hate facing rain teams, man. They're so scary and can just be huge problems. And I'm using a pretty cool team that I based around Klinglang and Memory Ground Silvally. I think is it the ground memory or memory ground? It's one of those two, but it's Silvally Ground because I wanted to try it out as an answer to like electric types in the PU tier. So obviously going into this battle, Ludicolo and Golduck in the rain are absolutely terrifying, but if his Silvally is not a ghost type or a fairy type, that means he's got no answer for my Hitmonchan. So Hitmonchan is definitely going to be huge in this game. Although from the build of his team, I was very positive that it was either fairy or ghost Silvally. So he ends up leading off with the Liepard, as I'm going to be leading off with my Mesprit. Turn 1, I expect him to either want to go for the knockoff or go for the U-turn. Not U-turn, but go for the rain dance, as I go for the U-turn because this will allow me to get off some chip damage on the Liepard, and then I can U-turn into my Silvally and then go from there. If he knocks off, I can maybe go for my multi-attack, or if he does go for the rain dance, and then I can expect him to go for the U-turn into one of his rain dance Pokemon, so I can try and go for the parting shot and then play from there, because my thought was to try and stall out a couple turns of this rain so I would have to play less around it and worry less about it. So I do end up parting shot. After he ends up going for the U-turn into my Hitmonchan in the rain, I can definitely chew one Hydro Pump and then put him in range of where the combination of Drain Punch plus Mach Punch I think should be able to knock him out. And I do just end up going straight for the Drain Punch because I wanted to see what his initial switch-in was going to be to this Hitmonchan, and like I said, I could easily live one Hydro Pump. And because he switched into Hariyama, I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's not Silvally, Ghost, or Fairy, but I still have to play like it could be one of those two types, because he might have just done the Hariyama play to make me think that it's not Fairy or Ghost. So I'm going to switch directly into my Quillfish to take the knockoff or potential close combat, as I am then going to get up a layer of T-Spikes on his switch into the Golduck. And this was a really questionable play on my part. I honestly think that I should have gone for the Thunder Wave. I really think Thunder Wave was by far my better play instead of getting up T-Spikes. I guess in the long run, T-Spikes do end up helping me, because if that's not Silvally poison, then there should be no way that he can get rid of my T-Spikes. So now I can poison his entire team, so that's going to be really good. The only issue is that I now have to stare down this Golduck that's faster than my entire team. So down goes my Klinglang, which was what I was hoping could sweep late game, because if I was able to get up a shift gear, I might have been able to sweep late game. As I'm going to bring in my Scyther here. I literally have no use for Scyther in this game, because that could still be a Silvally Steel type, and my Scyther is Scarfed and it does nothing to the Golem. So at this point, not even 10 turns into the battle, and I am down 3-6. The good thing is that his rain ends. Like, that's a positive, because now I can bring in Hitmonchan, and I'm just gonna go straight for the Drain Punch, as he just stays in and is gonna be aggressive with the Psychic. And again, he didn't switch in his Silvally onto my Hitmonchan, so at this point I'm even more confident that it's not a Fairy Steel. It's not a Fairy type, not a Ghost type, or not a Poison type to be able to check Fighting type. So it's really good for me so far in this game. So he's going to bring in the Hariyama. I cannot afford to lose my Assault Vest at this point, because Assault Vest on Hitmonchan is the only thing stopping Ludicolo in the rain from just winning this battle. So I'm going to switch directly into my Mesprit to chew the potential knockoff, or if he didn't want to go for the close combat, he could have definitely gone for that. But because I am defensive with the Colbur Berry, I take nothing from this knockoff, and now what I can do this turn is either go for the Psychic or go for the Stealth Rocks. I honestly expected him to try and switch directly into his Liepard here, which is why I mainly went for the Stealth Rocks. But the other good thing about Rocks is that now I can start getting off that extra little bit of chip damage on his Pokemon and putting them closer into range of where I can potentially knock them out with 2 or 3 hits. So I'm just going to go for the Psychic here, because at this point, at the amount of HP Hariyama is at, if he decides to switch it out and switch it back in, it's going to be in range of where the Drain Punch from my Hitmonchan can knock him out. So I do expect him to sack it off to try and get a free switch back into his Liepard to get his rain back up. But he ends up going for the Night Slash here. Now, first off, it's odd that it's got Night Slash and not knockoff. I'm guessing because it's got knockoff on the Hariyama. That's why he has Night Slash on Liepard, but I honestly think he should have gone for the Rain Dance here. I don't think that he should have gone straight for the Night Slash, as I am able to live. This means I can now save my Mesprit for Death Water later in the battle, and because he didn't get up the rain, I know for a fact I can live one modest stabbed Hydro Pump outside of range coming from this Ludicolo. So he does end up switching it in here, as I'm gonna stay in and I'm just gonna click Drain Punch, and as long as he doesn't crit me, we should be a-okay, as he doesn't crit me. And I think if I remember the calc correctly, even in the rain he wouldn't have been able to knock me out without a crit, so I still would have been able to chew one Hydro Pump. Obviously I would be at around 50-ish% HP instead of around 60%, and then he still would have been knocked out by the combination of Rocks, Poison, and Drain Punch. So he would have had the rain up here, but my Hitmonchan would have been at lower HP. So in comes the Golem again. He's not switching into the Silvally, so at this point I know it's not Fairy, Ghost, or Poison. It's just trying to figure out what type it actually is. So I'm gonna go straight for the Drain Punch on this Golem. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit scared that it was gonna have the weakness policy with like Rock Polish, but from the build of his team, I was expecting it to be more of a defensive Stealth Rock set, as it does turn out to be defensive because I chew this Earthquake, and he didn't have the weakness policy. Actually, no, I think, well, he could have been like max attack, max HP, I guess. Either way though, as long as he wasn't weakness policy, I should have been able to live the Earthquake. And then outside of him getting a absolutely high damage roll, if he's max attack, I can live a Sucker Punch, which is why I don't go for the Mach Punch. But in hindsight, what I should have definitely done was gone for the Healing Wish with my Mesprit, because I could have been able to switch Mesprit in on the Sucker Punch, outspeed the Golem, then Healing Wish back into my Hitmonchan to bring it back up to full HP, because as you can see, it turns out that his Silvally is actually Silvally Dragon. I thought it was Silvally Water because of the color, but it's Silvally Dragon. And then I make a bit of a misplay here again, and instead of going for the Mach Punch, I think I misclicked on Drain Punch, and that was really dumb of me because I'm not able to get off a little bit of extra chip damage on this Silvally. And depending on the moveset of this Silvally, it can actually still win and beat my final two Pokemon. So I'm gonna bring in my own Silvally here in hopes that he doesn't have the Ice Beam, but it turns out that he does have the Draco Meteor, and this is actually a little bit scary because he's able to do a pretty solid amount of damage to me. The good thing is though that I actually ended up going for the Parting Shot, so now he's going to be at -3 special attack the next time I bring in my Silvally. The main reason why I wanted to Parting Shot was so I could rack up an extra turn of toxic damage. So instead of him just taking 12%, he is now going to take 24% over the course of 2 turns. So that's really good for me because it puts him closer in range of where my Silvally can knock him out, as he's going to go for the Flamethrower. Mesprit, being the absolute monster that it is, barely lives on just the smallest sliver of HP, and I go for the Healing Wish into my Silvally, and unless he has Ice Beam and he freezes me with Ice Beam, I don't think there's a way that he's going to be able to pull out the victory at this point, with my Silvally being bulky at full HP and him being at -3 special attack. So he then misses Draco because my Silvally is well trained, and Ice Beam is going to put him in range of where Toxic is going to knock him out. So that's going to be the 1-0 victory in my favor after being down 3-6. Not even 10 turns into this battle, man. This game, like I said, was just absolutely insane. I honestly did not expect to pull out the victory in this battle once Golduck kind of ran through half of my team. But man, Hitmonchan also just an absolute don, dude, just putting in nothing but work. So yeah, good game to this account was taken. That's what his Discord name was. But just, yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy the awesome battle. Make sure to hammer that like button down below. What is today? Today is Thursday, so tomorrow should be the team builder for week 5 of Pokemon 4 Glory Season 2, so be on the lookout for that, and I should have another Wi-Fi battle up for you guys tomorrow as well. So with all that being said, guys, I will see y'all tomorrow. Later, buddy.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion, but when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.